Yo, yo.
It is indeed a pleasure to have this privilege to play here for you. We intend to give you a very fine program, so just settle back, relax, and enjoy the moment.
Mic check. What up, Brienne? Bright and early. Appreciate you being here. You had a choice. You chose me. Good morning, everybody. Look at Debbie. What up, Debbie? No newsletter. Today's a marathon, so today is a lot. Okay, so I didn't do a thumbnail. I didn't do a newsletter. But we're gonna get into it. Megsy, what up? What up? Good to see you. Yeah. I saw that I was losing followers on Instagram, so I hopped on Instagram. She's like, hold on, wait. Don't y'all all dip? Nah, good morning. Yeah. So, hey, what's up, El Cool J? Yeah. In for just an hour, shoot. I'm going to see what I can do, too. I hear you. It's okay. And y'all, please remember now, I don't take attendance, but I appreciate the heads up if you go silent. No, I do appreciate it. I say one thing, but then I do appreciate communication. Communication is key, right? All right? I'm not going to start off being an annoying Knick fan outside of just wearing my shirt. You know what I mean? But we won last night. I'll leave it there. I saw them Georgia Bulldogs. I see a little over my shoulder. Get up is on. Yep. Georgia Bulldogs. I don't have a dog in that fight. Pun, you get it? Dog in that fight. I don't have that. Good morning, Steven. Good to see you. Whiskey Neat. Y'all saw me over Instagram real quick. I was like, yeah. Rugby. You just said go Dogs. Yes. I like different winners. I like upsets. I like Cinderella stories. All that. Like those are the things I like. Shout out. Oh, thank you for gifting Steven 5 subs. Look at you. You a real one. Thank you. You know, y'all, this is how I make a living. This is part of one way I make a living. So the support you see, if you see alerts, if you see subs, that's how a chick pays the bills. That's how I pay this MailChimp. That's how I pay down all the apps and all the other things I do. So I appreciate the support. I do not take it for granted. So thank you. All right. But yeah, today what I want to do is outside of sports. I want to follow up on school board. That's number one. School board follow up. We're going to hop into it. A new voice entered the chat. A new voice. Not saying it's a new voice because Marvin Pendarvis has been committed to his community for a while. And he's walked the walk in a lot of ways when it comes to his community. So we want to kind of get an update on what happened yesterday with CCSD and the controversial, as all the news outlets call it, the controversial Reimagined Schools proposal. Spoiler alert, it was tabled. But let me go ahead and just switch it up right now because I want to just hop in. Ooh, 4 minutes. 4 minutes. That's a record. She got talking in 4 minutes, yo. That's a record. Here we go. Let's update. We're going to update on, this is what we're going to do. We're going to revisit. We're going to get ready for tonight's city hall meeting, right? So we're going to revisit the agenda. We're going to revisit some other stuff. Got a little couple of nuggets here and there that might add context to the conversation. So we're going to pregame a little bit for tonight. Remember, if you have the capacity, if you're not going in person, please consider joining us at 5 p.m. this evening. 5 p.m. right here on Twitch. I'll be live streaming with you, city council. So we're paying particular attention to a lot of things, but the newly, I guess, what has been reimagined is the schools. What has been reimagined is the special commission. And so we're going to follow and track that. And also we're going to track the opposition to the commission. I had something on deck yesterday and I just forgot to play it. And so we're going to catch up on some things, get ready for city council, talk about the things we're looking forward to, but let's go ahead and button up city council. To all the education warriors. What up? Bing bong, Dr. Claw, what's up? All the education warriors, I saw you yesterday. Shout out Joy, shout out everybody who was not seen. Carol Temple did her thing. Francis did his thing on the mic. Mr. Darby did his thing on the mic. I guess that seeing how demonstrative Darby was, it makes sense that Marvin had a press conference yesterday. So let's get to it. And then we'll.
Charleston County school leaders tabling the decision of a controversial multi-million-dollar project, Reimagined Schools, a plan that could impact the future of the district going forward.
This as protesters spoke out and some schools threatened to leave the Charleston County School District if that proposal were to pass.
You hear that? A school threatened to leave. We're going to get to that.
News 2's Lexi Moore joins us live from the Charleston County School District headquarters in downtown Charleston. And Lexi, district leaders actually postponed the vote on the Reimagined Schools proposal.
Hey, Hillary.
Bryn and Carolyn, earlier tonight, the sidewalk leading up to the district headquarters was full of protesters holding signs wanting to put a stop from the Reimagined proposal moving forward. And tonight, their voices were heard as the board decided not to vote on whether or not they will pass it, saying they want more input from the public.
Get it off the table. Get it off the table.
That's right. Yeah.
Get it off the table.
CCSD leaders putting the brakes on making a decision on the Reimagined Schools proposal.
We received numerous amount of emails from different aspects of stakeholders throughout the community, and the board felt very strongly that because of that high concern that there needed to be more input.
But dozens of parents and educators say they're still concerned for the future of education in the district.
I stand for 23 principals who are affected by Reimagined Schools.
We're going to actually watch the video from the actual proceedings from the actual school board meeting. We're going to watch that. The mic quality was just so bad. I will say shout out to Henry Darby because he knew he just projected naturally. You really couldn't hear the vast majority of people, but you could hear for the most, you can get the broad strokes, but you really couldn't hear that. Mic quality was buns.
Adamantly, ardently, and passionately against Reimagined proposal and wish for the measure to be eviscerated.
The proposal will put the coastal...
No, Whiskey Knee is actually Marvin Pendarvis, not... but you... Good guess. No, it's actually Marvin Pendarvis. Spoiler alert.
Community Foundation, a private group in charge of improving outcomes at underperforming schools in Charleston County. Some teachers disagree with the district's decision on having an outside third party handle the district's education.
They've never bothered to come into the schools. They've never talked to the teachers. They've never come into the community.
St. John's.
If the plan is approved, the district will pay $31 million over the next 10 years. But some concerned activists...
Yeah, there was... Joni, I talked about this yesterday. I can't remember if you were in the chat when I talked about that. I'm like, I was not giving advice to the Joys and the honors and all that. They know how to organize. But one thing we can do is stand in solidarity with those anti-maskers. If they found grievances with, or they found an issue with the Reimagined Schools proposal, okay. But definitely, hopefully we didn't join forces with anybody, and I was kind of confused too. Like Charleston Rise was against it, but Charleston Rise is for privatization. I'm really confused. Charleston Rise, people who had Charleston Rise masks were like anti-Reimagined Schools, and that's confusing to me.
Teachers and parents say they're imagining a different kind of plan for schools.
My thing is now, if you can come up with all of this money, why can't you give us what we need to educate our own kids?
There is enough funds out there to accommodate multiple plans. I know that no one solution is the answer.
That's interesting. Okay. Ooh. Yeah, that's interesting. It stopped abruptly. Yeah. So then let me go ahead and follow up with part 2 of that story, a continuation, because as Carolyn Murray kind of alluded to, people threatening to leave the district, and that's what Whiskey Neat referenced. So yesterday, Representative Marvin Pendarvis held a press conference, and this was 4 minutes and 51 seconds, so we're going to play the whole thing. Yeah, Charleston Rise was there, but I'm surprised that they were against it. Let me check it in the chat. What up, Misty Walsh? April, you dropped something in the chat. Darby was on fire. He was. Divide that 32 million by 23 schools. That's what somebody said. I think Darby, or they were like, yo, just give the schools the money. And that's really the argument there. By 23 schools directly, let them use the money based on what, right. What, yeah, exactly. Couldn't agree more. Good morning, Joy. Hey. Drop some clap emojis. Drop some clap emojis for Joy, if you can. If you can. Drop some support for Joy and others. I'm not singling you out. I know it's a bunch of people, but in this community, you've done the hard work. You actually stood up and submitted a comment. We're gonna get to it, but let me let Marvin's press conference play.
North Charleston will be no one's experiment.
I don't know if y'all can hear it.
We shall teach our children. We shall resolve our problems.
I hear it in one ear.
And we shall rise as one of the Low Country's urban core. If $32 million Reimagined Schools privatization plan is forced upon us, then I, with the support of many others, will file legislation to remove us from the program and take North Charleston out of the Charleston County School District.
So I'm gonna pause this so I can play my new sound effect.
This is how we do it.
Okay, that's how. This is how you do it. Shout out to everybody who I want to say this. Like I said earlier, Marvin tends to stand publicly on the right side of issues. On the right, what I would call the right side of issues. But what you can hear in the rest of the speech, as I'm gonna let it rock, what you can hear is that I wanna make sure, because this is what get lost a little bit, and it's gonna get lost a little bit no matter what the outcomes are on a number of fights that we wage, right? Whether it's a fight for public ed, whether it's a fight for small businesses and against the King Street bid, there might be victories and whatnot. Please understand that the people on the ground, you all who've been amplifying this issue, you all who have been reaching out to area leaders and area coalitions and BLMs and ACLUs and MICAs and all that other stuff, you all were a big part of informing what you're hearing from this representative. I'm not saying that he doesn't have his own agency. I'm not saying he wasn't keyed in on the issue. I'm not saying that at all. What I'm trying to say is that, remember, people power makes things like this happen, makes moments like this happen. And whether or not, and it is on the front page of the Post and Courier. We're going to get to the reporting on this. So that was dope. Above the fold, front page, today's Post and Courier. That's important. That's huge. And this story would not have gotten the attention from both the press, local media, and our representatives had it not been for the people. So it's important to understand it. So if you're feeling demoralized, if you're feeling like, you're David to the world's Goliath, especially here in South Carolina, please understand that victory doesn't mean all out win all the time. Sometimes a victory, or sometimes you should count moments like this when you have a representative stand up for you. Now, what he's proposing, I don't know about that. I'm gonna let y'all tell me whether or not that's wax sauce or not, leaving the district or what have you. But in terms of him lending his name and adding credibility to the fight, that's hugely important. So I just want to say that. Yeah. Yay for once, right? So if you're feeling demoralized, seriously, if you're feeling demoralized or like whatever, please make sure you understand that the fact that this issue was tabled too is a testament to the resistance that was mounted by so many of you as well. I'm gonna let it rock.
I am Marvin Pendarvis. Perfect. I represent 38,000 people in South Carolina House District 113, most of which are here in North Charleston. I was born here. I went to elementary, middle, and high school here. I live here with my wife and 20-month-old son. The Reimagined Schools initiative is the plan that has the potential to rob 11,000 children, the largest portion of which are in North Charleston, of their right to community-controlled public education. If passed, it will begin a years-long sideshow of redundant education planning that buries communities under meetings and internet input schemes that only serve to exhaust neighborhoods, which have learned many an expensive process is funded only to bury their voices and enable the continued neglect of our community. We know North Charleston has problems. We live them. We clean up the trash.
Shout out Crystal in the back. Shout out Crystal, our girl.
Fight exploitative development. We struggle to house and feed people in what was once the Low Country's wealthiest separate school district. We even go to the funerals. I represent North Charleston. I'm not a millionaire hiding behind a wall and internet suggestion boxes. People come to me on the street, sometimes angry, and demand change. I have to go and negotiate either effort or patience from them. Progress for those who need it most is always too slow. It never arrives from south of Broad, a country plantation, or even a fancy beach house. North Charleston knows no one will do this for us. The Navy Yard is long gone. The state-directed effort to reutilize it struggled for decades.
Shout out to Representative Jay Moore, too, for hitting me up about certain development plans going on in North Charleston. I don't mind disclosing that publicly. I look forward to conversations with JA to kind of just have a dialogue about what's going on in North Charleston. And as I've said here on the live stream, I'm not saying that we should not look at Charleston. I'm not saying that we should not stand up and protest and organize in Charleston, but we really got to start paying keen attention to North Charleston and what's challenging that area and that growth there, because there are opportunities to save aspects of North Charleston that we no longer have with Charleston proper. Right, some things is just the horses out the stable. Y'all, I keep killing that metaphor, whatever that is. I'm sorry, you get what I'm saying. Some of this shit is just already gone. You know, shout out to developer Riley and all those goddamn TIFs and all those goddamn deals and all that goddamn displacement. So a lot of things within Charleston kind of set in stone a little bit, right? And North Charleston is a place where we really should hone in and pay particular attention to. But I'm going to make sure I respect the players on the ground in North Charleston, because I am not a North Charleston resident. April, real quick. April, shout out y'all real quick. And I got you, Joe. I got you. April's gonna be. Y'all see April in the chat. If you don't see April in the chat, if you're watching later on YouTube, how you doing? April McGill will be joining us tomorrow on Mic'd Up during the live stream as a guest. We're going to talk about North Charleston, talk about growth, talk about a number of things, right? And so, April, you're saying in the chat, but stay vigilant, right? They ain't just walking away from them. No, they're not. So April, you're saying you're saying my bet is that they try to provide some kind of half-ass community meeting. Oh, absolutely. Oh, it's going to be a forum, going to be all this other stuff, collaborative. And we have to say that we have to just disqualify CCF from the situation. Joy, you offered this up in the chat before I let the rest of the press conference play. Joy, you just dropped. His proposal is not the most practical thing. It's not, right? I want to acknowledge that part was mine. All right, Joy, you went on to say, but I will say that we are grateful for Marvin's support and of our support of our public schools and community. North Charleston has been asking for help from CCSD. I've heard this on the streets for a long time, Joy, that they've been asking for help from CCSD for a long time. Speaks to the desperate cries, asking for community, desperate cries, asking for the support that they should have had from the start. Absolutely. All right, here we go. Oh, thank you, YouTube.
We were unable to turn an old Navy hospital into the housing and opportunity we needed and lost a fortune in tax dollars. The rapid transit system we voted for has been cut back from what was promised, and the consultants about schools, housing, and jobs arrives. They pick up their checks and litter our communities with studies. We have not asked for, or do we not need, another layer of meetings, consultants, and studies to duplicate what our PTSAs, booster clubs, and school improvement councils have already done. It was one of our principals who took a night job at a Walmart to fund needed assistance for the students in North Charleston High School. It wasn't the district, and it wasn't any of these proposed plans. We are home to some of the best high schools in South Carolina, academic, magnet, and creative arts high schools. From North Charleston, Trident Tech forges the workforce which builds upon the vehicles which sail the oceans. From Dayton shipyards, they roll down our highways at Bosch and cross the skies at Boeing. Our city does not depend on low-wage jobs. North Charleston has a future. It will only work if more parents join our teachers and principals in educating our children. Right. We will feed them, we will house them, we will teach them. We have learned because no one else will. The beautiful schools Charleston County inherited from the once independent North Charleston District 1 in 1967 have often been allowed to go into decay. Several of our once proud schools have been bulldozed to rubble. When someone needed to be sacrificed or experimented with over and over, Charleston County schools chose North Charleston.
It's really interesting that he's using the I guess the imagery of North Charleston being some sort of testing ground for like these regressive privatization policies. He keeps using the word experiment and testing ground and using that type of imagery that I'm, using language that conjures up a certain type of imagery. That's interesting choice. Not just strategist hat on, just interested choice. I don't have a yay and nay opinion on it. Hey, what's up, Michelle? Good morning.
Charleston students to suffer. Nobody's trying to privatize and reimagine the schools of Mount Pleasant or West Ashland. I will file a bill to liberate North Charleston schools from from the rule of those who mean well but don't know what life is like here. If this goes forward, I will cut us free from a district who loses its superintendent in the middle of trying to reimagine itself into a district where some communities get to run their schools and some aren't allowed to.
Come on.
I will not, as the district has, wait through years of studies, consultants, and show meetings convened to exhaust hardworking parents and school volunteers to act. I will file legislation to take North Charleston out of the Charleston County School District when I get to the State House tomorrow morning. We are willing to remain a part of and work with the school district with respect to our democracy. However, if they attempt to make our schools and children their experiments, we will withdraw. And with that, I will yield for any questions.
All right, so we're gonna hop out of there, and then we're gonna go to the Post and Courier. I want to say too, yesterday I wanted to get to the Post and Courier, some news there. We got to do a whole. I've been putting this off for a minute. I'm gonna dig into this. I'm gonna dig into some other stuff. Sheriff's behaving badly in the Low Country. We're gonna dig into that. But the Post and Courier, I want to pull up the front page. Let me see if I already have it pulled up. Post and Courier. I know yesterday. Oh, no. I had pulled up yesterday's too. Yeah. Yesterday's. We're going to get into yesterday's paper. We're going to get, because this is what I read. I was opening yesterday's paper yesterday. And I'm like, oh, shit, look at this crazy ad. But we're going to get to that. But let's get to the front page of the Post and Courier. We're going to get to Lindsay too. We're going to get to his ass in a second. Let me see. I thought I pulled it up already. Nah, let me go here. Okay, let's go to the front page. Local and state. Okay, so here's today's front page of Post and Courier. Like I said, above the fold. Big, massive headline. That's a huge win in terms of real estate because you know how it goes sometimes. All right, again, want to lift up, while some of y'all already dropped in the chat, the fight is not over. We're great. I'm grateful, even though I'm not a member or resident of North Charleston. I'm grateful for Marvin Pendarvis's involvement. Shout out to the homie who texted me this morning. I was already reading, friend. I was reading that. I'm like, oh shit. Okay, Marvin. Okay, let's go. Okay, so Willikers, y'all. All right, I'm trying to expand it. Oh my gosh, why is it acting like this? All right, hold up. I'm gonna download because I need to enlarge this. Save as a PDF. Front page, and then we're gonna go to it's A4. Okay, and we're gonna download that. It's not cooperating. Hold on one second. A4. All right, and we're gonna download this as a PDF. Make sure y'all use y'all library card, okay? That's what I typically do. Full current page. Yeah, okay. All right. Boom, bow. So let's read this together. All right, let's make it larger. Good morning. It looks like a lot of people checking in. Remember tonight at 5. Oh, I had like 18 things playing. Tonight at 5. Join me right here on Twitch. We're going to live stream tonight's city council meeting for those who are staying home. For those, I'm just doing it because I create content. I don't know if I would go out in person. I don't know. All right, let's read this. All right. So, yeah, we'll do it like this. So, okay, so vote on plan for 21 schools delayed. I thought it was 23 schools delayed after outcry. All right, so it says the Charleston County School Board delayed a vote on a controversial proposal aimed at potentially improving 21. All right, hold up. Time out. This is where I remind you that the Post and Courier has a interesting relationship with CCF. So their coverage, now I'm not impugning the integrity of this Libby Stanford, the reporter who created this story, but their Education Lab series is not only a fundraising mechanism, but a fundraising mechanism that has enlisted the services of CCF to process payment. As I put in a tweet this past weekend, after talking to my friend who works as a programmer, right? The data collection is positioned as a benign function and feature. CCF is processing all donations made to support the Education Lab. Well, when you donate and you enter in your PayPal or your credit card information and all the other data they collect, that's a gold mine. What does that mean? That means that not only do I not like the proximity between CCF, given the fact that they're actually they're writing the proposal that's now going to go off and inform policy, state level education policy. Not only do I not like that CCF, that organization, has that close of proximity to the Post and Courier and the Education Lab series, I also hate the fact that they're exploiting that relationship by collecting that data. And if you think that they're not collecting that data for monetary purposes, if you think they're not collecting that data and monetizing that data, you're sorely mistaken. There's a reason why they're processing that payment, and it's not because it's convenient or, oh, okay, we already do it. So no, it's to get the data. It's to get the data, right? And you can't be that close to Ben Navarro in debt collection and not think about data, not think about vital information. That's why I also fear for the families of the children who come in and out of these meeting street schools, because all they're doing is, one of the most egregious things that they're doing is creating lifelong customers. People who, the parents of these students are potentially going to be mired in debt because good and well, Credit One and Sherman Capital, that they're promoting their products, their credit products. First and foremost, Ben Navarro is a debt collector. First and foremost, he's not a philanthropist. Don't fall for the hype. Anyway, so I just wanted to say that as we read the coverage from the Post and Courier, please, any education coverage, you got to kind of like with WCIV, a Sinclair station. I'm not coming at Tessa. I'm not coming at all your local faves. I'm just letting you know, there's some interesting bedfellows there, and I don't know if I like it. All right, I'm gonna jump in the chat and read. Here we go. I'm gonna catch up in a second. Let me just, ads on the bus, right? Ads on the bus, but not only enjoy. Before you and I met, and before I had this live stream, I talked to an area educator who talked about that. These parents, if there's a laptop that goes home, if there's any tech that goes home, this is just surveillance. This is how the nonprofit industrial. I'm not trying to make y'all paranoid. I'm just that free laptop. I've been having this conversation with people in Philly and the Camden area, people who've been on the school boards in really, really tough places in the country. They talked about this for years. I've talked about how that free laptop or that jetpack or whatever, all of that also collects data and information and whatnot. And we don't talk enough about that data collection process, right? But more importantly, CCF and their proximity to the education series is very troublesome. I don't know how the Post and Courier can kind of act as, I guess because it doesn't have Education Lab on the top. I don't know how they can, they should do something to distance themselves from CCF, because CCF wrote the white paper that's informing the policy, right? And also CCF has been integral in a number of aspects of this story, right? Yeah. Libby is a member of the Education Lab. She wouldn't speak to any of you. Oh, that's. So I was giving her the benefit of the doubt. I don't like that. Maybe that's a sign she know. Maybe that's a sign she knows bullshit, right? And no shade to any teacher that was a part of that rollout, but come on. All right, the Charleston County School Board further delayed a vote on a controversial proposal aimed at potentially improving 21. See, look at that. That's why I stopped. Aimed at improving 21 low-performing schools. Okay, that's what it was going to do? How do we know that? CCF is not an education, source. Anyway, the board removed the charity organization, the Coastal Community Foundation of South Carolina, Reimagined school proposal from the agenda. So what I learned when I logged on to the live stream yesterday, somebody in the chat said that they had already removed it from the agenda, but they still allow people to comment, right? Shout out to Francis too. We're gonna get to it. Okay, so they removed it from the agenda, but people still were able to get to the mic and give comment. Okay, I know I keep stopping and starting. I'm just bear with me. Okay, all right. I'm gonna take it back. The board removed the charity organization, the Coastal Community Foundation of South Carolina's Reimagined Schools proposal from the agenda of its January 10th meeting after it received days of public backlash. Y'all are real, man. All right, the foundation is asking the board to put $31.6 million with an M million dollars toward the creation of a program that would develop 3 community-based innovation commissions, which would be responsible for creating improvement plans for the schools. I want to know if Caitlin Bird reported on this yet. All right, this might not be, I don't know. Okay, she might be doing more government or politics. I don't know. But anyway, okay, let me keep going. Members of the public are concerned the proposal encourages privatization of schools. At the beginning of the meeting, board member Lauren Hertrick, shout out to Francis again. I know I mispronounced her name, but we got it. All right, made the motion to remove the item from the agenda so that the board could engage the community in further conversation. Now, that's what we're scared of. Like the filibuster, and then like, oh, we're gonna create tables, meet us at the table, join us at the table, let's put this on the table. No, it needs to be off the table, as the young lady outside said in the news clip. All right, the board did not set a date to revisit the vote. It needs to be buried. Okay, Darren Goss, sitting front row, y'all. Darren Goss, the foundation's president and CEO, said that the future for the proposal remains unclear. All right, so Darren goes on to say, we think delaying the vote on the proposal is probably the best. Take that L, dude. Take that L. Take that L. We think delaying the vote on the proposal is probably is in the best interest of more community engagement. Okay, Goss said in the interview after the meeting. The foundation first introduced the proposal on December 13th at a December 13th board meeting, where the board chose to give the community more time to understand it. We don't need more time. They are roundly rejecting it. They don't need more time. Let me hop in the chat. Let me see what you're saying. Joy, you said the proposal was a vague idea. If passed, Darren Goss would get to fill in the blanks. Exactly. It's like the proposal was intentionally vague, and it gave enough leeway so that Darren, CCF, Ben Navarro, and other interests could then fill it in. And so you don't ever want to remove that much political power from a community or constituency ever, right? So thank you, Joy, for that. Brianne, you said you're grateful that brought so much attention. Yeah, Joy and so many others. Thank you so much. Yeah. And you went on to say, oh, wow, Goss talked to Libby. Of course, right? Oh, so other reporters, he wouldn't really provide comment? Okay. Yes, D, we're gonna get to it. We're gonna get to it. All right, so yeah, of course, and see, Joy, you bringing that up again. So we know that Darren has been elusive. He made some comment here and there, but it sounds like with this, after it's gotten so much backlash, he was maybe a little bit more slippery. But yeah, of course, he talked to Libby. Libby probably didn't even have to wait. Probably had a special room or some shit. Let me not get crazy, but you get what I'm saying. Like that further makes me suspicious about this education coverage. It's crazy. I'm so happy that y'all have just really clarifying this issue and showing it for what it is. Shit. Okay. All right. Here we go. Community engagement. Foundation first introduced December 13th. I already read that. Give the community more time. They don't need more time. They know what it is. They reject it. Like when is it, like even with city council, like with the Gadsden Creek issue, the public overwhelmingly said no, don't fill it. The Dutch Dialogue said no, don't fill it. Only one faction of focus saying fill it, and it's billionaires and millionaires from across the damn country. So when are we gonna listen to public outcry? I know Eric Mack and them got scores and scores of emails. We know. I see how y'all been organizing on every front, not just on social media. Like so like when are we just gonna just listen? We don't need more time. And we gotta keep lighting them up. We gotta keep eating. We don't need more time. We don't need to slow walk it. We don't need someone to line read it line by line to us. We know what it is. No, get CCF the fuck up out our business. Period. And any other dark money. And we have to figure out a way to find leverage. I think that was interesting about Marvin Pendarvis's quote. I'm actually going to pop out because I really don't feel comfortable. Well, I got to read the whole Marvin Pendarvis piece. Shout out to the followers. Shout out to new followers, new follower. But let me just get to the Marvin part. All right, because I'm really like, sometimes I gotta really digest when I think something fishy is going on with the reporting. Criticism of the proposal started circling weeks ago when it was first slated for introduction from groups like Stand as One, a community activist group in Charleston, and other organizations. Less than 3 hours before the January 10th meeting, Representative Marvin Pendarvis, Democrat from Charleston, held a news conference, and we just watched that. For those who just joined in, good morning, we just watched that. Held a news conference where he announced that if the proposal was approved, that he would pursue legislation. Let's get to the next one. Let's get to the next clip. I had to download it. All right. Part 2 right here. God, they got another rioter. They already got indicted another writer. Okay. So legislation to withdraw North Charleston schools from the Charleston County School District. Okay. North Charleston will be no one's experiment. North Charleston will be no one's experiment, Pendarvis said. Pendarvis told the Post and Courier after the meeting that he was pleased the board tabled the item. He doesn't plan to file legislation to remove North Charleston but you have to find your leverage. I think if anything, y'all, that doesn't sound like the most practical solution, but you have to find some leverage. And what you could do with even posturing, like you're going to propose legislation, that'll bring so much other stuff with it that I think people are afraid of that. And it'll draw the attention that they were trying to avoid. They really underestimate. I think Darren and Ben Navarro, they underestimate. But if you read A Wolf at the Schoolhouse Door, you understand this shit is not, the public doesn't want half the stuff that's being proposed by dark money groups. Right? All right. Okay. So let me go right here. North Charleston will be no one's experiment. Pendarvis told Post and Curry he doesn't plan to move forward. Glad that it was tabled. He doesn't plan to follow anytime soon, but he hasn't ruled out. Shout out. Hey, Mackenzie. Look at that. Look at two mother and daughter in the chat this morning. Good morning. All right. So he's not gonna move forward, right? Pendarvis would like to see the school board dedicate the funds to improve North Charleston schools directly without help. You don't need a third party. And for those, welcome to the live stream. I cuss. Shout out to the homie who said I should put, like, he didn't say this, but they were like, maybe you should. I guess I got to put like a parental advisory in the top corner of the page, where the Patreon. I should put like on CD, like how CDs used to have it. I cuss. And why am I saying that right now? Because I'm like, you don't need a third party to finger fuck your money. You don't need that. Just go ahead. You don't need no middleman. You put Darby on your shoulders, and I'm not like, personal situations is out the window. You have to strengthen your principles. You have to stand by your principles, even if they're imperfect or whatever, right? Because Darby ain't too great on the whole, like, okay, Trump. What was it? The booster thing. We don't like what Darby's doing on the booster thing, and that dude from Donald Trump's Jr.'s little best friend over here wreaking havoc on North Charleston. We don't like that. We don't like that Darby's so close to him, but we do want to support Darby in terms of because it helps support other principles like him. I'm just keeping it a buck. But you don't. But like Darby said, like others have said on the microphone at yesterday's meeting, you don't. Shout out to the sub. I appreciate you. Look at Kia. Kia, what's up? I appreciate you, sis. You just don't need that intermediary step, okay? I know I cuss y'all, so sorry. Right. Michelle, you said something in the chat. I want to lift it up. Yeah, girl, sometimes you listen to me in the car with okay. Okay, sorry. Well, I'm not really. I hear you, though. You're not the first one to say that. So, yeah. You said, same? Okay. All right, sorry about that. I don't know what to do about that though, because I'm not gonna stop cussing. It's gonna come out, but sorry about that. It's all love. Okay, cool. I'm not changing. I'm sorry. I love you though. I love you. I love y'all. I cook food. I really do. All right. All right. Here we go. But let me. I think now. Okay. I just went on about supporting Darby. Even we do have to support Darby. Especially when he's standing up on the right side of the issue. So let's go to yesterday's meeting. And it went pretty quick because they took it off the agenda but what I didn't like was how they pushed back on Francis. Like that shit. Y'all remember I used to give Francis hell. How you doing, Francis? Hopefully you watching. I used to give Francis hell. I used to be like an asshole. I'm admitting it. Cause I'm like, who's this dude always showing up in scrubs? But Francis been a real one. He been a real one. Shout out to Francis, especially at the Calhoun Monument. I'm gonna leave it at that. Shout out to Francis. I didn't like how they was trying to like run roughshod over public comment, and they cut it down from 2 minutes to 1. They could have let it rock at 2 minutes per person. It wasn't that big of it wasn't like that many people. They made it seem like it was 100 people outside. What up, K-Bells?
Order the January.
Let your children hear the profanity. Toughen them up. I'm joking. Everybody's up. K-Bell, you ain't at CrossFit? I'm up here stalking your Twitter. Hey, K-Bells, I'm glad you're here with us. Thank you. I'm joking. Maybe I'll designate like an hour of where it'll be curse free. I actually thought about that. Like the first 30 minutes is curse free. Like instead of commercial free, cuss free. 1 hour cuss free.
10th Committee of the Whole meeting. The first item on the agenda is item 1B, adoption of the agenda. Do I have a motion to approve the agenda?
Okay, considering the feedback we've received, I'd like to make a motion to remove.
But Joy, I didn't feel like 30 people went to the microphone. So I get that, but I felt I was like 16, maybe 20 people.
For a reimagined school.
I hear you though. And the audio again, if you just tuning in, good morning. The audio for this was
motion from Ms. Carteret and
the audio for this is very troubling.
From Ms. Waters to remove.
Can't even hear. I want to get to the other Coalition for Kids. Old girl right here.
Is this only for the committee of the whole or the board meeting as well? We're only approving the committee agenda, correct?
Right, so then we would do the board during the board agenda. Okay, any other comments or questions on that particular motion?
Gotta start going Ned Flanders. I am not gonna be jiggity wiggity.
Just stay tuned for further announcements.
Okay. So do you want to
make Kia, get well.
Can we do it just
text me if you need anything, Kia.
Removing item 4A?
All right, let's.
All right, so the motion.
Hey, shout out also Erica Coakley, who was joining from home. I sent her a little text message. Shout out to Erica Coakley. So they already just made the announcement. That's the timekeeper right here in the front. They made an announcement that you got 1 minute, but look, the clock said 2 minutes. Oh, I got it.
Parent,
I understand.
I'm a grandparent and a member.
Okay, also, this is Darren Goss right here. So you see the gentleman about to speak. I'm kind of going to fast forward through him. No, I'll let it play. But that's Darren right there. That's Principal Darby right here. And that's Francis back there. Anyway.
A resident of Charleston County. Recently, we have seen disputes between
horrible audio.
The public and various school boards concerning subjects such as COVID-19 policies, critical race theory, and gender issues. I decided to learn more and have attended CCSD board meetings for the last 6 months. I recently provided observations and recommendations to the Chairman Eric Mack and the trustees, and I just wanted to recap those recommendations. First, I'm recommending that the more access to board meetings be provided to the public. Secondly, I'm recommending an improvement in public comment time so that comments are received from the public before any actions are taken. I'm interested in what consultants are being hired by the CCSD, and I think that would be of interest to other public members.
Thank you, sir.
I do have two more things.
Okay. All right, here. So this part about Francis, I think Francis was very audible. This part, I'm not going to make y'all suffer through a bunch of inaudible, comments. But this part right here, turn up your volume if he is not. Let me see.
I'd like to take this opportunity to ask Lauren Herdrich to recuse herself from any decisions associated with Coastal Community Foundation.
You heard that? Recuse yourself. They don't like when you bring up conflicts. Let me play it again. They don't like when you bring up conflicts. They don't like when people peel back layers and tell you how, like, where the money comes from or connections. I didn't like this terse response.
With kids on point.
Mr. Baylock, this time cannot be taken to discuss matters specific to members of the school district.
Yes, it can. It's public comment. Yes, it can. Yes, it can. Yes, it can. One more time.
I'd like to take this opportunity to ask Lauren Herdrich to recuse herself from any decisions associated with
Lauren
Community Foundation due to her conflicting financial interests that's expressed through evidence in her 990 tax forms with kids on point.
Mr. Baylock, this time cannot be taken to discuss matters specific to members of the school district.
Yes, it can. It's public comment. They love trying to tell y'all that y'all can't exercise your First Amendment right or participate in essentially this is a democratic function. They love telling you what you can't say. No, like, shut the fuck up. Like, seriously. Sorry, kids. Like, shut up. Like, let the man talk. And you stopping him to tell him what he can and cannot say. I can understand people's out there just being irrational, or waving his arms or saying things and just dropping F-bombs. He's literally using his time to talk about the conflicts that exist. And for her to object, just continues to underscore the problem. It continues the problem that is CCF and Ben Navarro have bought this school board with dark money with the help of Josh Bell and Coalition for Kids. Right? She should recuse her fucking self.
Conflicts are, and make sure those are transparent and documented, and that you follow the board procedure. Because otherwise, this erodes the public trust and the decision-making capacity of this institution.
Look what he's saying.
Financial conflicts of interest are so egregious.
It erodes the public's trust, right? It hurts their credibility, and it also makes you question their decision making. Sounds sensible to me. Fuck out of here with that. You can't talk to us. And that's the thing with these politicians and the school board is elected. Even though the election was I ain't gonna use Trump shit language. Even though the election was purchased, we know we got that. We had the 2018 receipts from Paul Bowers, who made it to the mic. I'm not gonna play his comment because you can't hear him. But we know that it was bought, right? But even though y'all bought the election, it's still a democratic process. You still had to listen to public comment, whether you like it or not. And what I'm trying to continue to beat, the drum that I'm continuing to beat with y'all, whether it's school board, whether it's city council, whether it's a county commission, whoever you, not commissions, but whoever you elect, they work for you. I know homegirl and 6 out of the 9 are beholden to Ben Navarro, right? And all that other bullshit, but they work for us. So we got to get this dynamic that, can we please come and submit can we say something that goes against you? Can we please, is it okay if we say, no, that's how it works. That's how it works. And if they don't want to hear it in there, they're going to hear it other ways as evidence to, again, the work of the grassroots organizers, the parents, the concerned citizens, the people who've been doing this for a while. Carol Temple, right? She did a mic drop on the mic. These are the people who are making so much noise that you got a John Hale in his book being written, and you got the Washington Post picking up the story, right? Keep making noise. If they don't want to hear you inside inside the meeting, inside meeting spaces, they don't want to hear you there, make them hear you somewhere else too. If they want to limit you to 30 seconds, they want to limit you to 1 minute, yeah, get a podcast like me and start talking your shit. Like,
Next, we will have
good job, Francis.
Carol Temple.
I used to give him hell. I feel so bad. I'd be frustrated in Charleston. I was so frustrated.
We'll move on to.
I don't take no neoliberal mess though. That's what
Okay,
it was.
thank you. Next, we'll move on to Mr. Kenneth Melton.
I'm gonna fast forward to the ones that I thought was spicy. Joy, you want me to fast forward through yours, or you want us to play yours? I like this comment too.
You just delayed this vote, but my name is Kenneth Melton. I'm a farmer on Johns Island and the father of 4 children.
He did a good job. I don't know if y'all can hear him. He did a really good job. He's from Johns Island, farmer on Johns Island.
3 of which attend Angel Oak Elementary School. I'm here today to urge you to dismiss the Reimagined Schools proposal. I have onions to plant and chickens to feed, but I'm here right now because it's too important to remain silent. The board should let school principals and SICs continue to do their job without any third-party interference. I encourage you to listen to the parents united in their opposition outside this building. And
this your buddy, B-Man? This your buddy? I will
listen to those teachers and
I'll skip you.
Staff who oppose this plan are coerced into silence out of fear of losing their jobs. I choose
Kia, she don't want me to.
Johns Island schools and trusting qualified educators each day with their instruction. Mr. Goss and Mr. Kennedy, as they have said, are not educators and therefore should not propose implement any plan. CCF did not consult us as a community in this proposal, which circumvents principals, teachers, SICs, and parents in the decision-making process.
Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you, Ms. Copley, and thank you, Ms. French, for engaging us as a community.
Yay.
Ms. Saruta is next.
Okay, this Charleston Rise. Boo. Charleston Rise. Yo, whoever was keeping tally, Darren, you took a major L. Where your people's at? This is such a great plan. It's such a great plan. You got such a great imagination. Fucking Willy Wonka over here. Like, get out of here. Get out of here. Such a great plan. Where's the groundswell of in-person support? Right? What's up with this teacher right here? What's the skinny on? Because I was feeling her comment, but I don't know the backstory. Oh, and she's wearing SC for Ed? She's red for Ed? Can't hear it, but she was talking about the sacrifices she's made. Can't hear it. I'm not gonna put y'all through that. More opposition. Like you could keep tallying. It was like it was a wrap. Here's Carol Temple. I think she's spoken to the mic. Let's go. Carol got her real mask on. Let's see.
Have you ever heard this phrase, nothing should be done about us without us?
Come on.
Even though the Reimagined proposal mentions the word community 28 times, this poorly written and poorly documented proposal is not...
Real quick, Joy, the woman from Charleston Rise, she's from Washington, D.C.? The woman, or really?
Valid community schools model. It contains absolutely no community input in its development. The $32 million is burning a hole.
Wait a minute. They brought somebody from D.C. to come and advocate. I'm going to pause it real quick. I know there's a lag. They brought somebody from D.C. to advocate for this shit? I'm going to pause just so I can get a confirmation because I'm just sorry. Pardon me for being very... Oh, my goodness. Okay. Wow. Tell me your proposed legislation, your proposed policy. What? Tell me your proposed... Thank you both, Misty. Thank you, Joy, for confirming. Tell me your fucking policy is trash without telling me your policy is trash. You... Come on.
In your pocket. Give the money directly to the 23 schools. Each school's improvement council, which you know is composed of teachers, parents, administration, and the community, are capable of doing a needs assessment and putting together a proposal for the resources they need to address student achievement. With resources and support from the school district and nonprofits, the schools can accomplish their achievement goals. Our students and schools are not up for sale. Please reject this proposal. Don't bring another one like it back. Thank you.
There you go, Carol. Here we go. You're going to hear him. Carol and Darby knew how to project.
Since I am the district administrator, maybe extended 2 minutes.
He's asking for an extension. If you can't hear it, he's asking. He wanted.
Mr. Darby, I really wish I
And they're
could,
saying
but
they can't.
Okay, in that case, I will be succinct, and my time has started, and I have spoken yet. Can we start over again, please? I need every second.
Get every second. Get every second. Get it.
Go ahead. Thank you. Go ahead.
Thank you. Firstly, there have been no principals' input. We are adamantly opposed to this measure.
Yes.
Reimagined School has esoterically, assiduously, and surreptitiously sought to have this proposal expeditiously passed by the board.
Expeditiously.
Not only the African American community, but also the Hispanic community. They have no knowledge of this proposal, should they not be included as well. Secondly, there's no line of authority, no organizational chart. According to the proposal, the principal will not have the last word. The commission would. And as far as I understand, the state report card does not require the signature of commission. It requires the signature of principals, as we should have the last word. Thirdly, there is no record of research in terms of student achievement for Reimagined Schools. Hopefully, this is the top down, but let me get to my final point. I stand for 23 principals who are affected by Reimagined Schools. We are adamantly, ardently, and passionately against Reimagined
Adamantly,
and wish for the
spiritually.
eviscerated. Thank you.
Not making light of what he just offered, because that's
Now listen.
That's called bars. Okay. Good morning, Saint Fasai. How you doing? Right. Oh my God. Eviscerate. What did he say? Not emphatically. What did he say? He said all the words: spiritually, psychologically, physiologically, emotionally. Let's go. Good job, Darby. Eviscerate. Let me see this. Let me see the next comment. That is where I'm not gonna play, but Joy, don't clog your ears. But Joy did her thing. I'm gonna give it another round of applause. I was trying to see if people were gonna pay like particular attention to you. Like I was trying to see if like if Darren had like some tells. He didn't have that many. He laughed when Darby was like asking for more time and stuff like that. I can't really, I couldn't really tell. I'm not saying he had a great poker face, but yeah, you got to get your dictionary out. Go, all right. Yeah. Okay, here we go. Well, no. Joy said, I'm gonna make you uncomfortable. Shout out. I do want to. This is like roll call. After Joy was like this TSA. That's Paul. Paul's audio was no bueno. But Paul came and wearing. Let me shout out to the DSA, the bread and roses. Come on, come through. Represent for your clique, represent for your squad, Democratic Socialists. All right. So Paul did his thing. Can't hear him, so I'm just gonna let me see anything. That lady was like anti-mask. Dixon was like, that's the shortest 2 minutes. He didn't hear the announcement, which they should have reiterated that they reduced the public comment to 1 minute. Cause he got to the mic, he was like, that's the shortest 2 minutes I've ever had. I'm like, bro.
Yes, good afternoon, Pastor Dixon, and I'm here with voice of teachers, parents.
You mean Marvin? You meant Marvin Pendarvis, Kia? Oops, sorry.
Community that's asking today.
You can't hear him either. I don't think, not that well.
We have to hear about the reimagining. It needs to be tracked. This is the end point.
Yeah, so he was opposed to it. I want to get to the point if you can hear him say, that's the quickest 2 minutes. You know that man like to talk. You know he could talk.
Passes or his table, then we as a community understand that there was another agenda in place.
It's janky.
When it does not count the voice of the people in.
Can't hear.
An agenda that was set weeks ago or months ago, that certain people on this board decided we're going to go along with that instead of listening to the voice of the people.
fastest 2 minutes I've ever seen.
Thank you.
He said it's the fastest 2 minutes. I had to play that. All right. This young lady, she was opposed to it as well. I don't know who this was. I couldn't hear. And if y'all want to, yeah, I'm trying to just look at the faces. Okay, and then they went on to this, and then that's when I dipped. So the first 30 minutes, okay, I get it. That wasn't 30 people though, but it worked out, I guess, in terms of time. If they want to use time as a thing. All right, so we'll hop. Shout out to y'all. Shout out for y'all for helping me out. Oh, she's a student. Okay. Cool. Yeah, the mic quality, y'all. Sorry for making y'all suffer through some of that, but I'm really proud of everyone who stood up, everyone who prioritized making it out to the meeting, and thanks to everyone who sent an email to the public comment email address. That's super important. So well done, y'all. This is wait, my new sound effect.
This is how we do it.
All right. So this is how we do it. This is how you someone said it earlier, people power. I want to amplify that. This is what people power looks like. And it doesn't always look like, we opposed it and they tabled it, right? There's power in how folks got up together and demonstrated so much courage publicly, knowing what's really behind this movement is something I can't imagine the type of wealth that both Ben Navarro and Anita Zucker, because as Paul wrote in his on the Diane Ravitch blog, sometimes they work in tandem, sometimes you can't tell, but back to they are owners, they are hoarders, right, of so much wealth, and they are so connected. It's a very, very tough hill to climb, but we have to keep telling people that there is such thing as people power. We will continue to educate. Shout out to AJ. I forgot to say his name. Shout out to AJ for educating people on what was at stake. All of y'all who have groups and teachers groups and who've been texting and emailing me asking whether or not I can join. It's just a testament to y'all's work, and please don't ever try to hang your hat on that you can make move, even if it's small, even if it's a postponement. It's important. Yeah. Hey, Jessica, good morning. Getting the kids on the bus. Okay. Yeah, we had one of your neighbors on here. Let me stop. Well, it was a representative from Charleston Rise who lives in the DMV area. I was just told she brought her ass down here to comment on down here talking about our business. One thing I learned my second year in Charleston when I was a young kid is when somebody else's family music is playing, you don't dance. So you come down from DC, Miss Charleston Rise, and you out here dancing to family music. Girl, go on back up there. Go back up there. All right. So I want to hop into voting rights. A hard turn, right? Yeah. Oh well, no. South Carolina legislative preview. Yo, let me tell you something. I am kind of like crestfallen.
Back to work.
I'm crestfallen when it comes to like the maps and whatnot. But let me just play this. I want to give I want to pull out a little bit. I know I have a number of people from Richland County in that area, from the Midlands who watch. So not only that, what happens at the state level impacts us all here in the Low Country. So of course I got to get back into kind of playing more clips from the state level.
Off tonight with a closer look at what the state legislature will do as it gets back to work.
We're gonna circle back to city council and everything. Let me just pull out for a little broader view on South Carolina goings on.
Lawmakers return to Columbia tomorrow to begin the new legislative session. News 19's Becky Budd spoke with 2 state representatives and has a preview of what's to come.
After a short break, lawmakers returned to the State House on Tuesday. The first order of business, redistricting and budgeting.
I think the House will largely be done with redistricting this first week of session. And then the focus of work is going to be on that budget and allocation process.
They're working on allocating $11 billion in funding, the biggest in recent history. The General Assembly works on a budget every year, but
what we don't do every year is deal with billions of dollars that the federal government has sent down and how to give the tax.
Greek freak. Let me stop. Todd Rutherford, y'all, aka I call him the Greek freak. You can call him Todd Rutherford. The choice is yours.
Here's the biggest bang for their buck.
South Carolina is receiving more than $500 million from the settlement over the Savannah River site and $2.5 billion in federal funds from the COVID-19 pandemic.
We've got a responsibility to handle these new federal funds in a responsible way, and I think you'll see us do that as well.
Responsibility of this money is something Democrats and Republicans agree on, but what it should be spent on is still up for debate.
Whether you're a Democrat or Republican, how money is spent, even in someone's household, people are going to disagree on it.
It's too early to know yet where federal funds will be allocated, as the budgeting process just begun. However, more details will come in March. Measures that would legalize medical marijuana and online sports betting are also expected to make their way in the Senate.
It is like, yeah, I see you saying beside.
Soon.
Things that people are already doing now, but they need to pay taxes on so the state of South Carolina can benefit from them.
Reporting in Columbia, Becky Buds, News 19 WLTX.
He be talking right. He just don't be moving right. He be talking right, though. He always saying stuff I agree with, emphatically, for sure. I want to also, so this is something I wanted to top on yesterday, but this is Governor McMaster's spending plan. Then we're going to go to what's going on with voting rights. Shout out to my former employer, Cliff Albright. He was on. They showed him on what is it? CBS this morning. We're gonna play that clip, and then I texted him like, "Yo, he was on CBS this morning." He was like, "Oh, I didn't even know." But anyway, trying to get Cliff on the live stream. Hopefully he'll make an appearance. He came on mic'd up the radio show at home, so I'm sure Cliff will come to the live stream. All right, here we go. I'm gonna play this.
To start off today, Darcy, talking about money, big money that is, coming to South Carolina, that our state is now looking for ways.
K-Bell, it was a little bit of a lag. K-Bells, I see you, Kia. Yup. Staying beside. Yup. We all in agreement. Okay. We be having like a black people meeting in the chat. Shout out.
Is to spend the $2 billion given to South Carolina by Congress in the American Rescue Plan Act. News 19's Tai Wong explains how Governor McMaster wants to use these funds and what his executive budget for this year looks like.
Shout out to her lashes. Sorry.
Today, South Carolina's state government is the strongest fiscal condition in memory.
On Monday, Governor Henry McMaster announced his executive budget for this fiscal year.
By making big, bold, and transformative
They had a surplus, though, like
in the areas of education, infrastructure,
before the pandemic, we were in a surplus.
And economic development.
Aren't we still in a surplus?
Will prosper.
The executive budget includes more than $200 million to improve the state's roads and bridges, allocation to rainy day funds for any economic uncertainties, and improve education, including raising the teacher minimum wage.
Consequently, the minimum starting salary of a teacher in South Carolina will be increased from $36,000 to $38,000.
Even if I didn't get to it yesterday, that was on the front page of the papers. Was like I think I tweeted about it. Like the Post and Courier covered McMaster's plan to I guess strengthen education, but we know that he's also a big fan of school privatization, like a lot of conservatives, right? So we saw some of this make the headline news yesterday on yesterday's papers, both in the Low Country Hero, Post and Courier, and with the state newspaper.
A year.
The executive budget also includes a 1% tax rate reduction over 5 years for all personal income brackets. Bob Morgan, president of the state's Chamber of Commerce, says the state needs a tax break.
Exactly.
Our personal income tax rate is the highest in the Southeast, one of the highest in the country.
Morgan adds this is an opportunity to return dollars back to taxpayers who fund the state government. The governor also shared his recommendations on how the state should use the $2.4 billion funds from the American Rescue Plan Act.
Once in a lifetime opportunity that we cannot afford to squander.
The governor suggests nearly $900 million to improve existing infrastructure, including upgrading old water systems in rural communities.
For real. Like, that's it. Like, I think I made more than that coming out of college. Like, my first job. Oh my God! Like it just I kind of my eyes glaze over when I'm hearing the number because it's so like what?
Old structures and expanding broadband. Of course, all of these proposals will have to be approved by the legislature in coming weeks and months. Lawmakers could make changes to them or reject them altogether. Reporting in Columbia, Tai Wong, News 19 WLT.
Okay. So, all right. So just kind of, again, bringing it from the Low Country, bringing it a little bit out, and we're going to bring it even more out, even further out, even more out. Let me open up my YouTube TV. So I'm gonna try to run back the CBS News, the CBS morning news, because it does pertain to us. So Lindsey Graham has spoken up about voting rights. Also, y'all know that Dr. Martin Luther King Day is upon us. I got a better sense as to how this state and its political leaders, specifically the Democrats or left-leaning policymakers, I had a better sense during the 2020 primary, better sense on like what King Day really symbolizes politically here. Of course, King Day at the Dome was before the pandemic. King Day at the Dome was a huge event, especially during the primary. It was like if you wasn't a part of the festivities, then you wasn't in the right place. So that's where you saw the Elizabeth Warren and the Bernie Sanders come and link arms outside as they walk, all that stuff. I can pull it up, but we're gonna with that approaching, a lot of lawmakers are saying some things, and even the children of Dr. Martin Luther King have been speaking up about how important voting rights and pushing for voting rights right now at this moment, right before this sacred day. So we're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to all that, but let me just go ahead and get the YouTube TV clip, or rather go back to it and watch it with y'all. If you go back on YouTube today and watch yesterday's live stream, the 60 minutes piece will be cut out, just so you know, but I always say that. All right, so yeah, let's go here. And it was earlier. Let me see if I can rewind it. Okay. It's coming, y'all. Y'all know how this is. Ooh.
What's next?
Flickering lights. Mute Joey Sovine. And let's get to the voting rights. Gail was just like, the past 2 days, Gail sometimes she is so goofy when it comes to like technology. She was just so amazed by like the Weather Channel's demonstration of like weather. It was really weird. She just kept talking about how amazing it was. All right, here we go. And like Cliff has been like my go-to source for checking the temperature on a lot of these issues, when it comes to like what Biden could be doing more, what the administration could be doing more of. And so I wanted to play his clips because Cliff has really been, I've gotten such a great political education from Cliff's comments and commentary on these issues. I'm going to expand it, let her finish, and then we'll unmute. Okay.
President Biden and Vice President Harris are headed to Atlanta today to focus on voting rights, and they're working to pass federal voting rights legislation by Martin Luther King Jr. Day. That is less than a week from right now. Ed O'Keefe is in Atlanta for us ahead of the speeches. Ed, good morning. It's not going to be easy to pass this legislation, is it?
No, it isn't, Tony. Good morning. The president and vice president will start their day in Atlanta here at Ebenezer Baptist Church, where Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. once served as co-pastor. From here, they'll head across town to rally Democrats for new voting rights legislation. But here in Georgia, critics say that on this issue, the president isn't moving fast enough.
We haven't seen the type of leadership that we need to see.
Shout out to my former boss.
From President Biden.
Cliff Albright is co-founder of the Black Voters Matter Fund, part of a coalition of Georgia groups that say President Biden shouldn't come to Atlanta without concrete plans to pass voting rights legislation.
What we really want to see, given that he came down here, is that he's got a ironclad deal in place. Anything short of that is really going to be disappointing.
The Biden administration is pushing to pass 2 new voting rights bills, and the White House says the president today will call upcoming votes on them a turning point in the nation. In his speech, Mr. Biden will vow to defend your right to vote and our democracy, and will put pressure on the Senate to act.
I'm tired of talking.
The first bill would establish national election standards by requiring all 50 states to offer at least 2 weeks of early voting. No excuse vote-by-mail options for every voter.
So we're going to listen to the opposition from Lindsey Graham.
A national voter ID standard and same-day voting registration. Republicans generally oppose the bill.
They also want same-day registration, and that's just very difficult for any election official to manage. And I think that undermines.
They already do it in other the states. Calm it down. It's not impossible. All right, you just got your ass handed to you, like, you know what I mean, by Trump. Like, chill out with the, we can't make voting more accessible. Making it easier to vote is so problematic. Shit the fuck out of here. Come on with that bullshit. I just hate that shit. I got you, D.
Trust in elections.
The second bill would update the 1965 Voting Rights Act and force states with a history of discrimination to clear any potential changes to election laws with the Justice Department. Republican Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell says the bill overreaches.
This is a bill to turn the partisan attorney general into a national elections czar.
So with no Republican support, the voting rights legislation can't survive a filibuster vote. That means any debate over voting rights is first going to be about potentially changing Senate rules. The White House says the president today will reiterate support for changing the rules by allowing bills to pass with a simple majority.
I support making an exception on voting rights for the filibuster.
So he's suggesting that he's accepting the carve out. But when I tell you that leaders like Cliff and the folks on the, I mentioned Cliff a lot, but shout out to the folks on the ground throughout the Southeast and other areas that also have been advancing this message. Like the fact that people and organizations like Black Voters Matter, people like Cliff and whatnot, had to drag Joe Biden kicking and screaming to a carve out is so demoralizing. Like, we had to drag Joe Biden to a carve out, like it's saying publicly going on the record, supporting a carve out or making an exception. Like, this dude really do be acting like his hands is tied and they not. Really, for real. It's all like, it's so maddening.
But Albright says the president needs to fight harder.
He's got to give.
Ooh, Cliff got a board like me. He got a road. Oh, I mean, so that he got equipment like
Partisan
me.
attorney general into a national elections czar.
So with no Republican support, the voting rights legislation can't survive a filibuster vote. That means any debate over voting rights is first going to be about potentially changing Senate rules. The White House says the president today will reiterate support for changing his equipment by allowing bills to pass with a simple majority.
I support making an exception on voting rights for the filibuster.
But Albright says the president needs to fight harder.
He's got to give complete, unequivocal support, not support, demand and call for filibuster reform.
Yeah. He's just saying what he's in favor of.
Sounds like that's what's going to be said by the president today. We'll see. And then there's the issue of getting all Democrats on board. Adding pressure to the president, some members of Dr. King's family have said the nation should not celebrate MLK Day next Monday unless Congress passes that voting rights legislation. Gail?
Wow, throwing down the gauntlet. A lot of frustration in Georgia. Thank you very much, Ed. Robert Durst.
Yeah. Roast and piss Robert Durst. But, yeah. He should be demanding it. He should be demanding it. So let's get to Lindsay's goofy ass.
Lindsey Graham speaking out tonight on voting rights legislation working its way through D.C. The measure would give the federal government jurisdiction when it comes to local and state elections. Senator Graham says that shouldn't happen in America.
I think I'm gonna be like friend of the show Courtney. Shout out Eartha Snip. I think I'm gonna be like her and just call him Robinette. I'm not even gonna call him Joe Biden anymore. I'm just gonna call him Robinette.
Last thing I want to do on my watch is turn elections over to the federal government. The bill before the Senate is not empowering people to vote. It's about shifting power from the states to the federal government. The contents
they love that states' right remix.
Are going to create systems that make it
easy. They stay remixing states' rights. Like, I'm 41 years old. Y'all been on this shit since slavery. One, government small, but that government military is husky as fuck. Like, this don't make no sense. Oh, small government, but you don't care about the unbridled spending in the military.
Easier to cheat when it comes to voting. Mandates, ballot harvesting, same-day voting, abolishes
same-day vote, all the good things.
Know it.
Ooh, you turning me on. Like, what the fuck? You just rattled off a bunch of stuff that's good. So anybody who's saying, well, that is right. Oh, well, you shouldn't. And then we're going to go back to New York City in a second. Look, listen to this bullshit. Like, he's saying things. He's saying it with a sour disposition. But these are the good things, y'all. These are good things.
mandates ballot harvesting, same-day voting.
Not harvesting.
Abolishes voter ID as we know it.
Democrats, though, believe passing the measure is necessary to fight changes some states have made when it comes to voting. There's no word on when or if it will come up for
Let me tell you why that's important.
in the Senate.
Let me show you real quick. As I know
Lindsey Graham's.
I know I'm smacking on this candy. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. It ain't the cussing, it's the chewing. Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why that's important. What he just said. Right here. This is the Post and Courier. Front page of today's Post and Courier. Map that keeps GOP seats safe advances. Right? Let me see if I can find that clip. No. Oh, Nancy Mace got a breakthrough case. That's what I thought. I saw Nancy Mace's face on WCBD. But that's because she has a breakthrough case of COVID, so she's gonna politicize that. I don't really want to get at no oxygen unless y'all think there's something there. All right, so yeah, plan blasted by critics could see legal challenge. All right, House Republicans voted to advance proposed congressional maps that would turn the competitive Lowcountry district held by Representative Nancy Mace into a safe Republican seat. Also understand this. They can publicly harangue her all they want. This is the same thing with the Marjorie Taylor Greene shit. And shout out to the Speak Strategic and the team that's tweeting for Dr. Annie Andrews. They brought this up weeks ago. Nancy Mace and Marjorie Taylor Greene can do that Iron Sheik Hulk Hogan shit all day long. They can go back and forth all day long, acting like they mortal enemies. But they vote the same. They vote. You can't distinguish. If you did a blind taste test, they both would be they both like, oh, okay. Oh, this one is, oh, it's the same. Okay. Like, so that's one thing. And the other thing is they can harangue Nancy Mace all they want. What they doing when they got that map? Swing district where? Now, let's watch Nancy Mace's attitude now that they're trying to undergird or trying to strengthen her district. Well, let's see how free she is with her fucking tongue now. Let's see if she does that moderate dance now. Right? Because they're making it very easy for her to win. So let's see how she talks now. See if the tone changes. If she's gonna still be out there with boots on Monkey Island, or is she gonna do more shit like, just being unabashed and pro-Trump? They've made unfortunately the calculation that they made during the insurrection was the right calculation. Oh shit, this is bad for Trump's legacy, blah, 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 whatever that would have been. But then when they saw that his bloodthirsty fan base loved the insurrection and was enthused and energized by it, they didn't know what to do. They were like, okay, we know this is abhorrent, we know this is bad for democracy, but they were making calculations that would benefit them. I think that's my biggest problem with Nancy Mace is that if you really want to be seen as courageous, you should Liz Cheney it up. And I'm not giving her no gold stars. Y'all know how I don't do no cookies, no special. No pizza party for Liz Cheney. She was a whole birther, right? And another one to look at the votes. Trump. So, but at least Liz is at least doing something publicly that Nancy Mace doesn't have the courage to do. All right, yeah. Oh, for real? Does AOC have it for real? That's crazy. All right, let me just read a little bit more from this front page story. All right. Let me read it again because I stopped. Good morning for those just joining me. How you doing? All right. House Republicans voted to advance proposed congressional maps that would turn the competitive Lowcountry district held by Nancy Mace into a safe Republican seat. The proposal, which passed the House Judiciary Committee on partisan lines on January 10th, yesterday, is recrafting a previous House map that kept Mace's first congressional district, previously one of the more competitive districts in the country, winnable by Republicans and Democrats alike, right? It was winnable, right? The proposal mirrors a state proposal that was blasted by critics, and now we saw that nationally. We saw it on places like Twitter and other publications, right? The proposal mirrors a Senate proposal that was blasted by critics for being drawn along racial and partisan lines. It also lays the groundwork for a likely legal challenge by groups that believe the maps would marginalize the black vote. So let's get to it, right? The redistricting committee chairman, Rep. Jay Jordan of Florence, a Republican of Florence, largely downplayed those concerns. Of course they do. Saying the proposed map closely resembles current district boundaries that keep the Lowcountry's Beaufort County, which leans Republican, within District 1, right? Democrats lambasted the proposed maps accusing the House Republicans of downplaying the concerns of the voters in Charleston against those more. Let me go to A5. Well, I can't because I didn't download it. Okay, but anyway, you get the gist. I do want to see state newspapers reporting on that. Yeah, we already talked about the state priorities there. Yeah, breakthrough crate. Yeah, I'm not going to click on that. Should be fine. Right? Should be fine. Oh, she's doing more legislation? Uh-huh. Oh, here we go. Look at this story. I ain't peeped this. So this is Rep Clyburn joins business community to push for voting rights legislation. All right. Let me make this a little larger. What time is it? Yeah. Okay. I might I'm scared to say it now. Tom had me shook yesterday. I'm scared to say I'm about to dip. I think I might wrap up here because y'all know I'm going to come back at 5. So I think I might wrap up like at 9:30-ish. But y'all know how I do. I'm black, and so I always get my keys and stand up, but I'm at the front door, at the screen door. Keep talking for another 20 minutes. But let's see how we do this. Let me see how we do this. Okay, free and clear elections are the underpinning of our democracy. Shout out to the new follower. All right, free and fair elections are the underpinning of our democracy, are in danger, even though they can't directly cast a ballot. Who wrote this? Oh, okay. I'm about to say, okay, so this is op-ed. Okay, opinion. Okay, I missed that. So James Clyburn and Frank Knapp Jr. wrote this. Okay, I'm like, who wrote this? Free and fair elections are the underpinning of our democracy, are in danger, even though they can't directly cast a ballot. American businesses are among the most. This is an interesting tie-in. So he's joining the business community to push for voting rights legislation. And I think, too, let's bring it back locally. Let's bring it back to Charleston. Let's bring it back to City Council. Let's bring it back to Site C and their opposition to the proposed King Street bid. You have to connect the two. I just on the edges, just on the outside periphery of this issue. You have to join the two, right? Because we don't have. So part of building political power, which I would love to see more of in Charleston, is the not combining and the mashup of issues, but where there's alignment, where you can see the one issue impacting another. I'd love to see people kind of carefully join issues, because that's a way of building political power. Like they don't fear people who don't vote. That's why they don't really fear the kids that all came out into the streets. They don't fear people who don't vote. And I'm not, no shade to the kids who do vote, but they're not fearful of the College of Charleston crowd, because a lot of them are not in-state residents. A lot of them don't reside in the Low Country, not registered to vote, which is something we could try to fix. Hello, right? If you're listening, right? They don't fear a couple of black activists, in Marion Square. They don't fear that. So you have to figure out a way to you have to leverage your strengths, and you have to frame the argument in a way that helps build political power, if that makes sense. I don't know if that was just really vague or whatever. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So, but anyway, I'm interested in this whole framing of making this an economic issue as well as a purely democratic issue. It's not just that, it has other implications. All right. Several states have proposed or passed laws that threaten democracy by suppressing individuals' right to vote, undercutting decision-making authority of local elected and appointed election officials, and establishing the ability to nullify local election results if the powers that be don't like the decision of the voters. That's like a lot of people's worst nightmares. I actually think that that's something that we're going to see. Just the fact that the Democrats are so weak following an insurrection. Any other time in history, any other leader, I believe, any other president, well, no, not any other. But how do you fumble insurrection? How do you not turn that into a clear cut, like, we got this. Let's do what we got to do. We got 2 years to make it happen. I don't understand that. I just don't understand that. So that I'm saying that because I really do feel like they are going to start nullifying shit, because they seen that, okay, if we don't get it one way, we're going to get another way. Think the Wilmington coup. I really do believe that. All right. They've now legitimized, they've now normalized the use of violence to as a way to get a certain political outcome. They've normalized that. People actually out here thinking that it's okay to try to go, like some of them have justified kidnapping their own governor, or going into a neighboring town and shooting protesters you don't like. They've normalized thousands of people breaking into the Capitol and killing 5 people. They've normalized that. So now people and if y'all thinking this is not new territory for this country, y'all know that. Hopefully you've been watching me for a long time. You understand it's not new territory for our country, but it's scary to see that we've reverted back to old ways. And we're doing it in a way that's so publicly and so blatantly, like just like the days of the Klan, like the redemption period, like the Redeemers did in Wilmington and other areas in the South, right? Like they've just made it normal, and our federal government watched it happen. After the Civil War, they watched towns like Wilmington kill off its black populations who were trying to get access to the ballot, and the federal government watched. They did nothing. They restored the wealth. They restored the rights of the planter class. They restored the rights of those who literally formed their own insurrection in the form of a civil war and secession. It's crazy. I'm sorry. Oh yeah. Yes, Mika. Da 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 da. Thank you. Let me see. Clyburn don't need a more. Yeah. No, but see, Clyburn too. Look, K Bell. What you seen from Clyburn is cool that he kind of come out and did this op-ed, but he's safe. And let me tell you something. Deals were made to keep that safe, right? So K Bell said in the chat, Clyburn don't need a more dim district, right? It's just he's safe, so he can kind of talk that shit, right? D, you said in the chat you think part of it is because they have such an apathetic electorate, from generations of suppression. Some of it is not even apathy. So if your vote has been suppressed, that's not apathy, right? If your vote has been suppressed, at least that's how I look at it. It's not. But I'm not contradicting you for sport. It's not apathy, but I get what you're saying. Like the suppression works so damn good historically. Shout out Jacova Williams, right? The violence that was enacted upon black communities who were just trying to participate in their elections in democracy. Right, the violence that was felt back in my mom and my daddy's younger years still has ramifications now. There's a culture that has been established that democracy is not yours to enter into. So why would you risk your life? Why is it important? They're just gonna, you know what I mean? Like, why would I prioritize that? That makes any sense? But I hear what you're saying. You said because they're trying to pacify white lash. Absolutely. I'm gonna skip down a little bit. Running people over, hanging the VP, hang Mike Pence, running people over with their cars, those anti-protester laws that oddly enough they didn't down in Florida. DeSantis didn't unleash all holy hell on the Cuban communities that went into the streets, during, and I know Cuba is still going through it during the whole crisis in the rebellion in Cuba, right? When they came out in solidarity, nobody. We know what time it is with that, right? Anyway, all right. So it's something I wanted to show. There was something that just came to mind. Oh, yeah. I think that's one word. Let me see. New York City. I'm gonna go back. Since somebody said AOC, it made me think. So this is what they're afraid of.
New York City Mayor Eric Adams supports a bill allowing non-citizens to vote to become law. More than 800,000 non-citizens will be able to vote as soon as next year.
This scares people a lot. This scares the right a lot. I'm for it.
The legislation was approved by the city council last month. The 30-day time limit for the mayor to take action against the bill expired at the stroke of midnight, automatically becomes... That mayor is trash, though. Fuck him. For real. That mayor is trash. Already corrupt as hell. Shout out to Leslie Mack. Like, already out the gate, hiring your brother, blaming that tragic fire on people who didn't close the doors when the building had so many different safety violations. And then you're in bed with the person who owns the building, like they serve on your transition team. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to go off on a tangent, but this is what they're afraid of, right? So this is what other states and cities are doing. Law. New York becomes the most populous city in the U.S. to grant voting rights to non-citizens.
That's what's up. And if y'all don't understand why that's important, if y'all are conflicted by that, I'm going to invite you to reevaluate reevaluate your understanding of what quote unquote non-citizens, how they participate, how they contribute to society, how they pay taxes, how they, I went to high school. I went to college with a number of daughters and sons of immigrants from Spanish speaking. A lot of my friends were from Spanish speaking countries, or at least their family was. So like from Ecuador, El Salvador, Colombia, Peru, places like that, right? And so one thing I learned in college, just by being friends and sleeping over at my friend's house on Thanksgiving break or something, I learned real quick that, these maybe if some were undocumented, not all were. Some folks were undocumented. Some folks had family members who had varying statuses and whatnot, but they participate. They get up every day and worked in the New York metro area. Some of them worked worked in all these like prestigious places like the Met or like the Opera or what have you. They're the people that these are the communities that keep us going. And so I think that they absolutely should participate and participate at this level. I'm a huge advocate of it. We have to start really the way we think of immigrant communities, all with varying statuses of citizenship. The way we view it is really skewed here. Because I know, like, if I go talk to my mom, my dad, I'd have to tell them what that means. I don't want to play Eric Adams. I'm trying to find every other clip but him. But yeah. Anyway, I think I'm gonna leave it there. I just wanted to play that because while we're down here restricting access to voting, there are other areas that are actually granting more access to folks. All right. I'm gonna try to get my life together. I'm gonna try to get some work done regarding Mic'd Up and regarding Charleston Activist Network. I'm gonna end it here early, but I'll be back 5 o'clock. Bring something to sip on. If you're non-alcoholic with it, bring some Kool-Aid, some Hawaiian punch, whatever floats your boat, whatever it is. Sparkling coconut water with yuzu fruit. That's what I drank this morning. Like whatever it is, that's what I drank this morning. That's what I drinking this morning. Come back at 5. I didn't send a newsletter out this morning because I didn't want to be that chick that sends out 2 newsletters a day. So I'm going to send out another one closer to the evening. Please make sure, hopefully y'all got y'all comments, and I ain't going to keep reminding because it's over with anyway. Make sure you write your comment. I'm going to work on that too. I'm going to work on my comment. So when it's time for me to come off mute and to hit #6, I can give my comment in a cohesive, carefully, like hopefully. I always get a little like camera shy or whatever the word is, right? How do you pronounce it? Is it MABRCA? I don't know how you want me, but you just dropped a comment about the pathway to the citizenship is lengthy and expensive. Exactly. And people, exactly. I don't even need to go no further. Exactly. Yeah. You submitted your comment. Cool. Good morning, Evelyn. Yeah. I'm going to come off mute, hopefully not fumble it. Now that I got a stand-up situation, I feel more nimble, right? I feel like I could do more. I just need a longer cord for my headset. That's it. All right. Actually, I got an extension for that. Let me go get that. All right. That's it, y'all. Take care. See you tonight at 5. Come. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Come on. Why watch it at home by yourself? Why? You can just watch it with the family. All right. All right. I talk email. Oh yeah. Email your council members right now. Email your council members right now. City council, do not let up. Please email them right now. I didn't even get to the Evelyn. I didn't even get to what I sent you last night. I don't want to talk. Tom, I sent it to you too. But I didn't even get to that. But it's gonna be whether it's eventful in person or not, or they curtail the comments or not. Oh. No, I can't. Damn, I had my keys at the door and everything. I was ready. Hold up. This right here. This, y'all. Let me download this page. Y'all. So I sent some secret scroll, some information last night. Nothing too deep. Come on. Now I froze. Am I frozen? Oh shit. Wait. Non-responsive. Jeez. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. I gotta show y'all this. This shit was wild. Hold on. Just Kia, you emailing them that you exit page. Damn, I don't want to exit page. I'm gonna refresh. Let me see. We're emailing them that you're in support of the Special Commission on Equity, Inclusion, and Race. And you're also saying no, that you want them to vote no to the proposed King Street bid. Essentially, all right, man. Essentially, you want to do what folks have done around the school board. If we can't stop it outright, then maybe we can have them table it, right? But they need to understand it and hear. And I think that they've heard a lot. I've gotten a lot. Hold on, I gotta show y'all this. This is crazy. I gotta show y'all this. I don't know why I didn't download it. OMG, what the hell? Hold on, y'all. What my mama say at times like this, the devil is a liar. The devil is a liar. Name Navarro. All right, here we go. Hopefully. So yesterday's paper, let me see. God, it makes sense. Yes, y'all support Kia in the chat. Yeah, you said, Evelyn, you said, well, now you have to be vaccinated or tested to get in. That's what somebody else said on a call I had, a separate call with some black leaders the other last week, Evelyn. But I said they're gonna find fake vax cards, and they're gonna be the ones that are gonna do the test. They're gonna come with a fake test or some kind of bring one of those at home tests that's probably taking like somebody else's or some shit. I don't mean to really be that mean about it, but I really do believe that. Okay, let me see. I want the image. I gotta show y'all this shit from yesterday. I was like, what? I was getting ready. I said, I gotta show them this. And local leaders have caught wind of this practice. It's been going on for a while. That petition that was circulating. Also, that petition, that really racist petition that supposedly had Sandy Sen and Darius Rucker's name on there. That was really weird too. I don't even think that I believe in that, but I had to tag Darius Rucker just to see if anybody else caught it. Shout out to Darren from the Avery who caught it. Okay, this is not Let Me Be Great. It's not loading. But basically, damn. Oh, I know what to do. Okay, library, you library not working. Okay. Services. Okay, let's go to yesterday's paper, right here on the website. All right. And shout out to also Evelyn. I meant to talk about this front page and I just totally goofed. Shout out to Evelyn too, who caught the other bullshit on the agenda with regard to the cops. Like, I noticed that the cops, I think I brought it up on a live stream, cops got a $1 million grant that they're approving. But what also I missed, I gotta pull that up. I swear I was leaving. Psych. I said psych. I'm leaving y'all, psych. Hold on. I'm gonna pull up that Charleston. I'm just gonna get to it. All right, I'm gonna pull that up. Then I'm gonna go here, go back to here. All right. I didn't get to the ACLU and the people's budget. Trying to find it, y'all. Here we go. So on within yesterday's print newspaper, right, under the whole weekly meetings portion, which is I strongly suggest y'all keep an eye on this on Monday. They do the whole weekly meetings thing. It's really important. I should actually talk about this a little bit more. But down here, I'm gonna download this page so I can enhance it the way I want. So down here, that kooky group that's being supported financially by outside interests, that kooky group put this ad in the paper. I'm gonna open up the PDF. Yeah, the devil is a liar. He sure is busy. All right. So this is the ad they put in the paper. Thank you. Who dropped that in there? You just saw that? Okay, I'm gonna click on that. Okay. So Charleston City Council will vote on Tuesday to resurrect controversial commission. Right? Your help is needed. So the ad goes on to say, City Council, and the fact that you had to pull out an ad to me is a tell that you're not from here. That because you could have opted. There was a bananas op-ed in today's paper. Bananas. Benghazi. Joe Biden talked about the president after insurrection. How dare he talk? Like, it was. I'm like, y'all printed this? Y'all find that? I can't even show you. It's bananas what they put in there. But anyway, but that's usually how they get down. Like, so this is a tell right here that this is an outside group because this costs money, right? And not to say that communities have not pulled their resources to print ads, but that's usually a tell. That's one tell that this is outside. And this just like that Reimagined bullshit. I think people understand that, but I don't know. That this is a foreign body, like this is a foreign entity that we have to question. So your help is needed. City Council is voting tomorrow to resurrect a commission that aims to impact every institution. Lies, every institution. And let me tell you something. This is the most blatantly and publicly and nakedly racist framing. And a lot of y'all who struggle on, identifying a little bit more subtle racism, this ain't even subtle, right? So the city council is voting tomorrow to resurrect the commission that aims to impact every institution in Charleston. It literally has no funding, literally has no governance power at all. As a matter of fact, the compromises that have been recently struck are a little bit unsettling for me. I haven't been able to kind of talk about it publicly because I do want it to advance in whatever state that we can get it to advance. But I'll reserve my commentary for tomorrow. All right, so we want to make the public aware so they can make their voices heard. Basically, that's called a dog whistle, right? Hey, the blacks are trying to get power. Hey, we've been keeping them at bay for a long time, but they just keep coming back up. The blacks want power. Right? Because you would think they would spend this much time talking about the other, since they said it's all about finances, right? They said it's all about taxation. Why aren't you combing over the budget and looking at what these new toys that the police are getting? Like, why are you not doing that? Just a few days before Christmas, City Council rammed through, they did not. City Council rammed through preliminary approval, establishing a permanent commission labeled Commission on Equity, Inclusion, and Racial Conciliation. So they got that wrong too. They didn't probably have time to run and do a new ad. It's not even proposed to be permanent now. That's something I brought up directly to William Dudley, or Dudley Greg. To Councilman Gregory. I brought that up to him, that why is it now not permanent? So it's not even being proposed to be permanent. So they didn't change that, right? And that's on the agenda that we're going to peek at before I dip. All right, so they put this ad in the paper. They said it's a permanent commission. It's not. So that's that's another inaccuracy. It's no longer called the Commission on Equity, Inclusion, and Racial Conciliation. It's now called the Human, we'll get to it, human rights. And only thing they kept was conciliation, racial conciliation. That's the only thing they kept. They got rid of equity. They got rid of inclusion. They got rid of commission. I guess it's the Human Resources Commission or whatever. They got rid of equity, inclusion, and just kept racial conciliation. Right? So they got that wrong. This commission previously made over 100 proposals that would disrupt the police. So they got that. Okay. Education, healthcare, that's not true. Education, healthcare, housing, business. It cited the structural issues within those institutions. It did not have 100 proposals. That's a lie. Their proposals are extremely radical, divisive, and dangerous, and expensive. For example, diverting police funding. Nope. It's a suggestion. It's a recommendation. It wasn't an edict, right? Diverting police funding to social programs. They already kind of do that, so I don't even know why you're mad. I mean, they do it in meager amounts, but Shout out to all the reverends on the payroll. All right, releasing arrested criminals without bail. No one even suggested that. Releasing arrested criminals without bail. But okay, all right. You want more policing? Okay. I don't know. You for the police? Like what? I don't. Teaching critical race theory in the 1619 Project in schools? Nope. They have the city council literally has no power to inform education curriculum in Charleston County in the city of Charleston. Has absolutely no power to do that. All right. The commission also recommended the city become a member of the GARE, Government Alliance for Racial Equity. Okay. A radical social activist. They love putting social. I think they try to say. I think they wanted to go with socialist, but they just said radical social activist organization, founded in Berkeley, California, it worse than me with grammar and usage, who has been successful in implementing, this is really poorly written. It's all emotion and really, really bad. Now this is the kicker. If you're still tracking with me, I know I'm not reading the chat. This the kicker. I'm trying to get it. Like, I really gotta get. I gotta get a MacBook. No, I can't. Can't live stream on a MacBook. I will not. Such a big pain in the ass. All right, this the kicker right here. I can't enhance it the way I want. All right, this commission and its report were rejected by City Council last August and September. It wasn't rejected. It was tabled and shit. All right. Then December 21st, it was revived by two councilmen, Peter Shaheed and Carl Brady. They changed their votes, endorsing to bring the commission back. So we heard on the street that Councilman Shaheed was feeling the pressure, but it was like, he's holding firm. So on the call with Black leaders and Councilman Gregory, what was also reiterated was that we needed two pivotal votes to advance the newly remixed commission. And I think, and I asked the question about the composition of city council because it's going to look very different tonight, right? We're going to have some swearing in. We're going to have a couple of new faces. Shout out to Stephen Bowden, right? But I was concerned with the implications of what will happen with Del Chapo's district too. Remember, that's coming too, that special election. But as it's currently comprised, I asked whether or not we had the votes. Because because basically Gregory was sent, or he elected to send himself to come and say, hey, I know this is completely different. Like they even, this is what I'm disappointed in. They even removed basically they're separating the document, the PDF, the recommendations, all that stuff that we worked the craft. They actually said that, nope, you can't even, we're no longer using that either. So it's not only a watered down compromise, you can't even use the study. They've thrown that out and said that has to remain separate from whatever happens with this Human Resource Commission. And that's really, and shout out to the other, I won't say their names, the other leaders who said that's kind of weird. That wasn't their framing. It was a little bit more strongly worded than that. It's concerning. So it's been watered down. They've gotten their objective. There's no CRT in it. But I think that the Shaheed and Brady were the two pivotal votes that Councilman Gregory were speaking to. So as long as they hold firm, I don't know about Carl. Carl is a conundrum. But hey, email Carl right now. Email Peter Shaheed right now. Tell him to hold the line. And tell them that, this was an attack on them. They should see it as such, and they should feel offended that this outside group would spend this much money to try to attack them by name. And they should be emboldened to not acquiesce to this. So we'll see. We're gonna watch Shaheed. We're gonna watch Carl Brady. We're gonna watch Ross too, and a bunch of other ones. But we needed 2 more votes, even with the change in council. We needed 2 more votes. I think these are the 2 that that Dudley was talking about. Yeah, we'll keep an eye on it. This is a really shitty ad too, and this is brought to you by American Heritage Association. Sound like the Koch brothers to me. And then if you use the QR code, it takes you to that bullshit petition with the stick figures. I mean, this must have been like one of those bottom of the barrel outside groups, because the petition's shitty. The names all look fugazi, and they got stick figures as the image. And they talking about they got all these signatures on their signatures from where? From where? Utah? Florida? Get out of here. All right, now I'm serious. All right, I got that. All right, let me see what y'all said in the chat. All right, I'm gonna read the chat for the first time in like an hour. Yeah. No, racism pulling the strings in Charleston. Disrupt the police. It's like they got like some of the slogans. Maybe they were told they couldn't publish the ad if it had certain phrases in it, because they wanted to say socialism, they didn't say it. They wanted to say defund the police, and they didn't say that. So it's really interesting, like that. It seemed weird. It seemed like a bot wrote the ad, if that makes sense, or artificial intelligence wrote the ad. Joy, you dropped in the chat, we live in a fucking fucked up times. This is a public, right? Gets published. You should see that op-ed. I'm gonna probably play it tonight. If we had to kill time, I'll probably show that op-ed that they published. I'm like, why would you publish this in your paper? Why would you let this like, it was all conspiracy theories, and why are you still playing that Benghazi song? Then you defeated Hillary. Like, come on. All right. See y'all tonight at 5. Appreciate y'all for bearing with me. Let me smack on the mic. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. Thank you for the subs. Thank you for the subscribers. Thank you for the support. Okay. Bye. See you at 5.